Hi everyone and welcome to NameHero.com. In today's video tutorial, I want to talk about our backups and how they work here at NameHero and how you can access the data and how you can add more to your account if you would like. So first, let's get started. All of our web hosting accounts, they come with complimentary nightly backups. So all of these packages. Now there is two conditions that must be met. The account cannot be over 100,000 inodes or greater than 20 gigabytes of space. So if you're using more than 100,000 inodes, which if you don't know what an inode is, we have an article on our help desk that says what is an inode, and you can go read that. But basically an inode is a file. So if you have, most of the time we never see a site or an account go over 100,000 inodes. Most of the time when they do, we see a lot of emails or a lot of spam emails that aren't cleared out or email boxes that are full. So most of the time you can optimize your inodes by clearing out some old emails or deleting some unused files, log files, and stuff like that. But if we allowed backups for over 100,000 files, then it would actually create a slowdown on our network. So when we've designed our backup system, we've had to kind of do this balancing act, and we have to set a limit somewhere. If we set it just to unlimited, then it would create poor server performance and a bunch of other issues that we don't want to deal with, including downtime. So it would actually hurt the infrastructure if we did not have some sort of limit. So it's 100,000 inodes is the backup cutoff. Anything greater than that, our automated backup system will not include that in the complimentary nightly backups. Now that doesn't mean you still can't back up your site. You can still use the Drop My Site add-on, which I'm going to talk about here in just a second. Now with the 100,000 inode limit, there's also a gigabyte limit. So if your account uses more than 20 gigabytes of data, it also will not be included in the nightly backups. Now most accounts don't come close to 20 gigabytes. 20 gigabytes is a lot of space for an individual cPanel account. Most of the time at NameHero, when we see this and someone's reached that much space, most of the time they're using a WordPress backup plugin, or they've got some large zip files on their account. And most of the time those type of files should really be stored off of your hosting account. Those should be really stored in Dropbox or on your computer or somewhere else that's more friendly for large zip files. The average website doesn't come close to 20 gigabytes. So if you are using that much, if we would go to back that up, it would once again, same as the inode limit, it would create a slowdown across the whole network, which would also bring downtime and all that stuff we do not want. Remember, at NameHero, we are a high-speed performance web host. So if we don't have some type of limits when it comes to taking backups, then it would kind of sacrifice that. So as I said, it's kind of a juggling act, and we have to set limits. We have to kind of draw the line in the sand somewhere, so we can get that completed for you, and we can have backups, and we can also maintain our high uptime and our high performance. So once you understand those two limits, any of these accounts are automatically backed up each night, and you can access this data right inside of cPanel. And I will show you an example of that. So I'm going to log into my client area. If you're following along, just hover over account and click login. And I'm going to go to my hosting package. So this example is the starter cloud. So it's this package right here, the starter cloud. And this is the main page for it. I'm going to go to cPanel, click login to cPanel. And I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see backup administration, and you've got a dashboard. So you click CP remote dashboard, and you can see these are restore logs. But if I need to restore anything, a domain, a database, an email account, or just an individual file, I can click here, access the backup from the previous night, and I can enter in that directory or file that I need. And again, if I need to restore the whole account, like the whole domain, I could click right here, click the backup, and I could actually restore the entire domain that I need to restore. Same goes for the MySQL databases. If there's a database that I need, I can click here. I can have access to the backup and actually just restore that one database. So I'm not restoring everything. And this is common, things happen sometimes in databases or files that you accidentally overwrite, or you delete a post that you really need, and that's why we have these. Now, the thing is about these backups is we retain 1 day's worth of data. So the backup, let's say if today is Tuesday, then the backup was taken last night or the early morning hours of Tuesday. And each night it's overwritten, and that's why we keep 1 day retention rolling. And we offer that completely free of charge, access right here inside of cPanel. Now, of course, that's probably not enough. You probably need to do a little bit more. It's nice to have these complimentary backups, but we also recommend keeping a little bit more data. And this, in case you delete something and you realize 7 days later, oh my gosh, I deleted something, or if you mess up your installation of something, you might want to go back further. And so because of that, we have integrated with a company called Drop My Site. Drop My Site's a third-party backup solution that will also take all your data automatically and back it up each night, and it will retain up to 30 days worth of data. Now, this is completely stored off-site, off NameHero's servers, so you can always access it no matter what. Now, because it is a third-party app, there is a small fee for it, and it's not a whole lot. So let's go over to our backup explanation, and let's just kind of recap where we are, and let's talk about Drop My Site. So each night, you have 1 day retention. All data is accessed inside a cPanel, and this includes all accounts, including resellers. So those of you that are reselling web hosting, let me go to our reseller packages. If you have one of these packages and you have customers, their account is also backed up each night. And so a lot of our resellers really love this, because a lot of reseller accounts out there that are competitors, they're not backed up. Just the primary domain's backed up. It doesn't include all their customers. So you can market this or use this in your advertising, that we offer complimentary nightly backups, and it's the same limits as NameHero, 100,000 inodes or 20 gigabytes, which 98% of customers never come close to. But that is included as well. Now, again, we've highlighted the requirements. In order to be eligible, there has to be no more than 100,000 inodes and no more than 20 gigabytes of overall disk usage. And again, I would love to offer this unlimited, but then we would sacrifice our performance and our uptime, and we never want to do that. That's it. The reason why I started NameHero in the first place is to have a high redundancy, fast cloud infrastructure. So again, there has to be a point in time where we draw the line in the sand and say this is the limits, so we also maintain our performance. So that's the requirements for those nightly backups. Now let's talk about the additional backups. So we integrated with Drop My Site last spring. So it's 2018 now. So sometime in 2017, we implemented Drop My Site. Now we've got some blog posts on our blog, and this is the how to backup and restore inside a cPanel blog post. And this talks about WordPress, but it's the same for other files as well. But if you scroll down here, you can see the Drop My Site tutorial. So or the features rather. You can restore with one click. You can view files that have been modified, download with one click. You can schedule backups. You can also monitor your website availability, website performance, website blacklisting. So a bunch of extra features inside of there. And I've got a tutorial on how to add those to your account. And I feel like that, a lot of customers right off the bat, they don't want to add it because it is a little bit of an additional fee, but it's really well worth it. If you don't want to handle your own backups and you're looking for a good automated solution, this is my top pick. And it's really affordable. It's $1.99 a month for 5 gigabytes of space. Now, if you need more than that, just you can look in our interface, and I'm going to show you here in just a second, because we can go all the way up to 100 gigabytes for Drop My Site. But the average cPanel is not going to need any more than 5 gigabytes. So you can automatically add this to your account during the sign up process. So for example, if I was going to sign up for my reseller account and I wanted to go with the corporate hero, I just use a domain. Let's just say namehero.org. Use. And I go to right here. Drop My Site is the option here. Now, this is not for all of your reseller accounts. This is only for one cPanel. If you want to add it for your customers, you can hit up our sales team and say, hey, I got a customer that would like to have the Drop My Site backups. Could you add it for domain namehero.org? And our sales team will say, absolutely. And they'll raise an invoice for it and add the account, and everything will be inside your billing portal. And then you have the flexibility to bill your customer whatever you wish. So our cost is $1.99 a month for 5 gigabytes. So you can charge your customer $2.50 and make a profit off of it, right? That's the purpose of reselling. But this option here is just for your primary reselling domain. So this would take care of, for my example, namehero.org, and this would automatically back up that domain each night. And because what we see, a lot of the primary reseller domains, they have the WHMCS installation, they've got your forward-facing site, so it only makes sense to back this up in another location than our complimentary backups. Of course, you've got that for emergencies, but then you can also add the Drop My Site. And you can choose how much space. Most people just choose the 5 gigabytes for $1.99, and they upgrade as necessary. But you can go to 10 gigabytes for $2.99 a month, or all the way up to 200 gigabytes for $44.99 a month. And the good thing is you can manually add other sites to Drop My Site if you don't want to pay anymore. If you say, well, I just have like 2 or 3 other sites and I just want an extra backup of the database to be sure, you can manually add that. And I'll demonstrate that here in just a second as well. Now, the same goes for those of you that's wanting to order basic hosting. Now, since this basic hosting package is only one cPanel, then the Drop My Site backs up the entire cPanel automatically. So let's say you want to get the Plus Cloud. I'm going to just enter namehero.org again. Click Use. You'll see the same thing. Down here, Drop My Site backups, highly recommended. You can add it here. And for $1.99 a month, it just makes sense to add that. For 5 gigabytes, that's going to cover most all your data. And again, you can always upgrade, and it's just there. So let me show you what this looks like inside of cPanel. So I'm going to go back over to my demo account here, and I want to go into cPanel. So I'm going to click Login to cPanel. And actually, I want to show a different one. Let me go to my services. Or no, we can use this one. Let's see. No, let's go to this one here. Halloween costume blog. It's got more data inside of it, so I feel like it will show you a better example of Drop My Site. So inside of cPanel, we'll go to website backup. It's right here. So this is different than the complementary backups. The complementary backups are down here in their own CP remote. So for example, CP remote here. Now the Drop My Site is actually on website backup. And I know it's a little confusing, but it's got the Drop My Site logo. So we'll click website backup. Whoops, this one is not the one. It must have been the other one I was in. Sorry about that. Sometimes you get so many example accounts, you get confused on which one has what. So let's go to website backup here. And yes, this is it. Okay, so you'll see inside of this is the Drop My Site dashboard. And you can see for this account, it's backing up the main website, and it's got 2 subdomains it's backing up. It's got a database and a staging database. It also has the blacklist monitor added, so if it's ever on like a Google blacklist, and this checks it every single day, it backs up the email accounts. So all of that stuff is automatically backed up. Now, if you need to tap into this, you can see the next backup's in 15 hours. The last backup was April 24th. But you can go over here to Restore Files, and it's going to download all this metadata, so it might take a second. And you can see I've got backups for the last 30 days. So all the way back to March 26th, all the way to April 24th. So I can back up or restore files from any of these days. So I just click on one of them, and I can see my files here. And it also shows me when this file was last modified. So you can see, these files just weren't modified all the way back until January. But if I needed to restore just one file, I could click it, and then I could go down here and click Restore. Right here, Restore File, and it's going to restore just this license.txt, and it makes you confirm it, click Restore, and it's restoring from that old backup. And it's all automated, and so it just makes it very simple and protects your data. So I really, really do recommend the Drop My Site. Again, if you're a reseller, this is for your primary domain. If you want it for your customers, then it's actually a separate service. Now, if you want to manually add other websites, you can see in this account, I'm using 42 megabytes of the 5 gigabytes allowed. So I can click Add a Website, and I can select how I want it to, the protocol, FTP, SFTP, rsync over SSH. So if you have SSH access, most people choose FTP, and they'll just use the FTP account of the domain, put it all in here, and click Next, and it will automatically back up that site. So if you're like, Ryan, I don't want to add a whole backup package to one of my reseller customers, I'm just going to manually add them to my account, you can do this. And the same goes for the databases. If there's other databases, you can just add them in here. MySQL database, enter the host name, database name, user and password, and go to next, and you can add the databases. And the same goes for adding any additional website blacklisting, or if you just want to add an email. So again, this would be an FTP type deal. You'd use the FTP stuff from the website, host name, username, and password, and you could back up emails. So you can kind of pick and choose, what else you want to add to Drop My Site. But this is the way you get more than 1 day's retention, up to 30 days retention on a whole separate service, the NameHero, so it's completely off-site and in the cloud. Drop My Site has their own cloud, so it's not on an old school dedicated server. It's very secure and on a cloud that's expandable and has plenty of resources, and it won't slow down your website or anything like that. So that is what I recommend to do if you need more than 1 day's worth of data. Now you say, well, Ryan, why don't you just offer more than 1 day's worth of data for free? Well, in order for us to continue offering a high-speed cloud infrastructure with all the bells and whistles, especially for our resellers that come with the WHMCS license, or if we look at our basic hosting, we have all these extra features such as Lightspeed, Cloudflare, dedicated CPUs and RAM, we would have to increase our prices if we offered more than 1 data retention by default. So we offer, we give you the 1 day, and then if you want more, it's $2 a month. So it's not very expensive, but if we would have to increase our prices by $2 a month, you might find that not competitive. So that's why it is how it is. If you have a VPS with us, I've got a blog post on actually how to set up your backups for a VPS, and it's right here, how to set up a 3-point fail-proof backup system for your VPS. And you can copy and paste this, or you can just search it in this box, or you can access this URL here, and you can read about how I recommend setting up backups for your VPS, because the VPS is a completely different beast than our other packages. VPS, remember, it allows you to do all the configuring, and our team will help you set this up, but you actually have to set up the backups how you wish and how best fits your business. So that's how the backups work here at NameHero. I know just recently we've had a lot of questions on, why don't you retain more than 1 day? How do I access my backups? So I wanted to get a video out there on our YouTube channel, and I'm also going to make a blog post, and I'll have this information from this PDF in there as well, just so you know, and even customers that haven't signed up with us yet, so you know when you sign up, how the backups work, what you do if you need more than 1 day's retention, and if your customers, if you're a reseller, if they want backups, how you can add additional ones and all that good stuff. So I just wanted to put this video out there. I'll link to some other resources as well that go through step by step on how to restore everything, because I've got plenty of blog posts. This being one on how to restore stuff, how to restore a database, how to restore a domain, how to restore any of your files. I've got full instructions, and I've got a video on this as well. So I've got, all the good stuff that you need to, restore your backups. So I'll make sure to link to these videos as well. So once you've got it ordered, you know how to do that. Oh, and let me show you really quick, if you've got an account with us, and so for example, this is my starter cloud. If you go to upgrade, downgrade options, this is where you can add it. So Drop My Site offsite backups. This account has a 5 gigabytes. If you ever needed to upgrade, if you wanted to go to 10 gigabytes or 30 gigabytes or more, you can do that right inside this interface. And also, if you don't have backups added right now and you're watching this video and you're like, yes, Ryan, I need this, then you can do the same thing. Just go to your main page inside of our interface and click upgrade, downgrade options. And that's where you can add Drop My Site. You can add this today as soon as you watch this video. And if you've watched it and you're like, man, I really should add this, then this is where it can happen if you didn't do it on your initial sign up. But if you're signing up, you can do it right then and there. But if you've already signed up, you can go back and add it here. So that's how backups work here at NameHero. It's our goal to provide you the highest quality shared web hosting out there with fast servers or high-speed cloud infrastructure, but we also want to make sure your data is protected. So I wanted to get this video out there to explain and some questions that we've had recently, and also our support team will be linking to this video a little bit as well, so I can really explain it in detail. I feel like I can do this much better on video than our support team can trying to type it out or even talking on the phone or live chat. It's not as clear as actually seeing a video tutorial. So if you have any questions on this, feel free to comment on this. Again, I'm going to leave this on YouTube, and I'm also going to put it on the blog, so there's many places you can ask questions, and I'll even reply personally. So you can, if you have questions you want answered by the CEO, ask them there, and I would be more than happy to do that. So thanks for watching, and thanks for using NameHero. It's our absolute pleasure serving you and your business and providing high-speed, quality web hosting.